Hello everybody, welcome back for StarCraft 2 action. We're here in the losers finals of the Homestory Cup. We have Serral going up against Clem. And the winner moves on to the grand finals to get a match against Gumiho, the defending and reigning Homestory Cup 25 champion. And the winner of this grand finals, of course, champion of the Homestory Cup 26. This is a rematch as well from the upper semis, where Clem and Serral already played a best of 5. Terran versus Zerg. Clem did not join the dark side yet at that moment. And Clem did end up prevailing 3-1, but Serral ended up winning on this very map, Abyssal Reef. And Serral was really trying stuff out in that series. He was playing a different style in every match. He was going for just pure Ling Bane. He went for Roaches into Lurkers. He went for Ling Bane Ravager from Roaches. He also went for Ling Bane Hydra. All we've seen... the only thing that's missing, basically, is Mutalisk. And almost every game, Serral was trying to utilize those Night Eye in the late game, if they got there. And on this map, if you want to watch it, I do recommend you go watch it back. That Abyssal Reef game between Clem and Serral was the most fighting game that we saw between them. And Serral showed us that Infestors are good units. I'll tell you that much. Sharks everywhere. And that is always exciting to watch. Serral sending out some Zerglings. So he going pool before hatch on this map. Wow, maybe afraid that some barracks might be out on the map. But also these lings can just be annoying. Get some nibbles to a SCV trying to make a CC. And Serral gets the double scout here on the racks. One thing you have to watch out for on this map is that this Overlord doesn't get sniped to a Marine opener. We saw that happen versus Maru as well, and Serral did play against Maru, and it was pretty successful for Serral. Of course, Serral getting first in his group, getting into the finals, meeting Clem right away after beating out Spirit, and fought his way back through Maru, so only meeting Terrans. So actually there's a lot of Serral gameplay out there. Luckily for Serral, he's a player that just plays solid. Doesn't really have any strategy. Sure, he has a couple. Ooh, Clem gets a gets a drone kill here with the Reapers. Double Queen here for the revenge. Boom. Does get the one Reaper down. That's pretty nice there for Serral. Did he get... Oh, a full scout here. No, he did not. The Zerglings did not get in. They get hunted down. No, they're still out on the map. I'm so confused. Where are those Zerglings? Oh, they're over there. Okay. Oh my god, the drone comes from behind. Doesn't get the third base. That would have been so sneaky. Having the one drone in the front, luring the Reaper away. But no. Queen here is here to defend her babies. Second Reaper comes out, kills the drone. Oh my lord. But now Serral does get his third base down. 2 drones down. With 2 Reapers still on the map. A third one was made. Dude, Clem being tricksy with it in this game number 1. This Queen actually taking a lot of damage. She does have a lot of energy. Can't self-transfuse. Does get the kill on 1 Reaper, but this is an expensive unit to lose nowadays. 175 minerals indeed. And at the front, we have the double racks. Looking to be a 2-1-1 build. Björn is pretty happy that he popularized that build at some point. Maybe not. But no Hellions on the map, so Serral does kind of get free reign on the map, but those Reapers really doing a good job of kind of contesting the map control. Even though there's Ling speed, there's Lings, Baneling Nest is coming down, so no Roach Warren here for Serral. A lot of Marines building up, and a double medevac is going to make sure that these boys get shipped out into the fight, Starship Trooper style, and just put them into the machine of war. To grind them up. Stim about to finish. Oh, these Lings. In between a rock and a heart place, quite literally. Rocks, lots of Marines with stim. And the Reaper does get to join. He just came home. He's like, can I get some free time now? No. No holidays. We'll pay you extra, but you're still going back to the front, buddy. Serral got his 3 bases saturated. He's making a bunch of lings here to defend against this double medevac drop that, well, he knows it's coming 100%. And Evolution Chamber here. Starting up. Bane speed is coming. No banelings here to defend. You need all the queens to hopefully defend, but this is a pretty tough drop to hold effectively. If, as a Zerg, you kind of messed up, you just don't quite have enough units, and then suddenly it snowballs. You lose all of your queens, and your lings don't connect with the Marines. Because this is 16 Marines with stim. If you just barely don't have enough units, everything dies before it gets in. Ooh, these lings don't get a lot of surface area on the Marines, but it's not quite 16 Marines anymore. But look at that, bunch of queens going down here. Another queen going down. Nice targeting by Serral, but also nice pickup micro by Clem. How many queens do we have left? Only 3 queens. 2 queens remaining. And Clem showing us that queens aren't for free anymore. And I would be surprised if Serral remakes a lot of queens anymore. That's super expensive. He might just... I don't know. I don't know what you do here. You just lose a lot of queens. Does have a 4th base building. If he doesn't lose that... Maybe with the few tumors that he has, he can reestablish the creep spread and maybe get a foothold in this map. He's shown that he can do it in the previous series, but Clem definitely in a very favorable position right now. Not a lot of creep spread, a very annoying position to defend down here at the natural, and Clem is about to take that position and perhaps push in. We do see some Lings and Banes coming in. And Serral is in position to defend. There's even a tank here. Oh, Serral comes in from behind, comes in from the front as well. And these Marines do get picked up. But the rest of the siege units trying to anchor this push do get taken down. Nice defense by Serral, but look at the drone count. He's below 60 drones. This is a very rough spot for Serral. He had to make a lot of units. Look at the drone damage. 2 drones. But it's 8 queens and 50 lings. That's the damage that Clem did. Not the drones. It's the larva. And the money, basically. It kind of snowballs. Once you are forced to make a couple too many units early, then you didn't make the drones, and those drones didn't mine for all that time, and then suddenly you are pretty broke. And that's why these Zergs are so good at making the least amount of units early and making the most amount of drones early, because the reward is just so sweet inherent to the race. Oh my god, Serral goes for a small engagement in the middle of the map off of creep. Does have the +1 carapace, so maybe he thought he could take a surprising engagement there. But this is a lot of medevacs. Serral goes for a surround here, clicks on the mine. The mine gets target fired on a big group of Banes. And this is rough for Serral, going for the Ling Bane style once again. He seems to be doing this in his first series, or the first game of any versus Terran series that I've seen of him. I know he did it versus Spirit. I think he did it versus Maru, but I'm not sure. And I know that he did it versus Clem in their best of 5 as well. So maybe that's just, oh, nice burrow. Clem didn't see it. He didn't. Oh, nice Baneling landmines there. Like, these Banelings are barely ever connecting onto Clem here, so that's just a big dub. Getting a nice Baneling hit onto, like, 8 Marines there. Whew. Those Banelings were value. Oh my god, the Widowmine does do some friendly fire on the medevacs, but it's not quite Stefano 4GG tier. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should look that up. Stefano versus 4GG Widowmines. Those traitor Widowmines, man. Oh my god. Oh, triple drop coming in. Serral doesn't know where all the units are, but now he has an inkling of where all the units will be. Serral has, behind all of this, established an 80 drone economy. So even though he's kind of on the back foot, he's not out. He's getting double ups. Clem isn't even ahead in upgrades. Clem does have a 4th base, but Serral has established a 5th base. Liberators are now in the army as well, but Libs are not the greatest units versus Ling Baneling. So for now, it's not the biggest of issues, but as soon as the queens start getting into those freedom zones, Serral's army supply is low, and it's not high enough to stay in this game. Clem forcing his way on to creep, and Serral on the back foot for almost the entirety of that game. Clem just coming out of the gate swinging, and Serral very resilient, but was never able to really get any counter pressure. No Lings and Banes left over to get into this third mineral line or this fourth mineral line. And if you try that and there's just a bunch of Marines here, oh my god, the game is going from bad to worse. That is kind of the thing. If you lose a bunch of army for nothing, then you're almost losing then. Because you can play with a big army in a low economy, because if you have a big army and you don't die, you can make an economy after that. And then suddenly, if they don't kill you then, you can kind of catch up in the rest of the game. You just need some type of reason to be allowed to stay in the game. For Serral, that was just having a big army for most of the game here. But Clem out trading the GOAT himself. Let's see if Serral can adapt. Game number 2. And for game number 2, we load up into Ultralove. Clem and Serral swapping colors just to keep the map lore accurate. Thank you very much, fellas. Let's see if Clem can keep this up. Dominating streak. If he can get the run by or the run back. Well, the run by to Gumiho. Let's see if he can start his Darth Vader arc and make the Protoss shine in the finals, or maybe Serral has something to say about it. Here in game number 2, of course, everybody, happy holidays. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. And Happy New Year. And what better way to start the holidays than another Clem versus Serral banger. Here in Ultralove, Serral going for hatch first this time around, not going for the pool first like he did on Abyssal Reef. Clem only one command or a barracks so far going into the command center. He's not going for the double racks with 2, 3, or 4 Reapers. And going for the SCV Scout. Every time I see this, I'm like, why? You're making a Reaper. Let me proxy hatch you. But Terrans will be scouting. They will not be cheesed out. Because they can just make Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, and Stim, and then kite back. Make some Widow Mines, and keep doing it for the rest of the game. And maybe if they're really cheeky, go into some Ghosts, Liberators, all the good stuff. Clem confirms that, yes indeed, there is a hatchery. And Clem, makes a Marine after the Reaper. Factory's going down, only 1 gas so far. So might see a quick 3rd CC. And this drone, distracting the Reaper. The other drone is in position to become a nice 3rd base. And this Reaper wants to be as lucky as the Reaper in the last game getting a kill. But he had a buddy. He had some help. And look at that. The Lings taking all the damage. Some of the drones not mining, but the 3rd base is down. And 3rd base for Clem starts right up in the main base. Creep Tumors down at the front for Serral. And we have a game. 100 gas has been mined. Serral did not start speed. And throws back onto gas. Is this going to be a Roach Warren and a quick push? Or is Serral going to go into a lair? No, he is not. He's going into the Roach Warren. There's only this 1 Reaper at the front. We have an extra Queen building, but no Ling speed at all. So really, we want Serral here to box out this Reaper as much as possible so that the Roaches don't get scouted. And if Clem goes for the Hellions, and if he doesn't see the Roaches, there might be some damage. Tech Lab is coming out. Starport is going to switch up with that Tech Lab from the from the barracks. There's no reactor over there. And is this going to be Banshees? Yes, it's going to be Banshees. So those Banshees will do pretty well against the Roaches. 7 Roach Rush is on the map. It's an oldie but a goodie. 9 Roaches even. Oh my god, that's very committed here from a Serral. Let's see if he fires up more drones behind it. Doesn't have any link speed, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts droning behind this. We do have this Overlord. Doesn't see the Banshees, and now these roaches, they're walking across the map. Clem doesn't know anything. He's none the wiser. Clem goes into the third base, sees 0 drones. And that should give him a little question mark. Make him wonder what is going on here. Banshee's still at home, but he's moving across the map. These roaches completely unscouted. And now these roaches are going to walk into vision. Clem retreats with the Hellions right away. And these roaches gonna try and kill a lot of SCVs, do a lot of damage. All of the Hellions actually going back home, not diving into the mineral line of Serral to try and get some counter damage. The Banshee did come home, and a second Banshee was underway. But a lot of SCVs are gonna go down here. 9 already. Fresh mules on the menu, boys. And these roaches doing incredible damage. Look at the SCV count. 12 SCVs go down, lots of Marines, and the Hellions. Dude, these roaches got the value. And this is a build that you have to throw out at least once in a best of 5 versus Terran. You have to keep them on their toes. They can't be just rallying their Hellions, their Liberators, their Banshees across the map without giving you some credit. And Serral now in a really juicy position. Third base is completely saturated. Lair's almost done. And you can smoothly transition into those speed roaches. We don't have link speed. We do have the cloaked Banshees now, though. No Overseers yet, and the Spores are not done. So Clem is going to get some juicy counter damage. Does it stay with 5 drones? I think not. There might be a couple more drones here for Clem. 6th drone, and maybe even a queen? So Clem slowly but surely catching up in the worker department. Of course, has his triple mulage that he can drop. Oh, nice transfuse. Keeps the queen alive. And 8 drones do go down. 2 Hellions and a Reaper try to get in, but these Lings, wow. What a Warcraft 3 surround right there on that Hellion. And a couple roaches come out as well, showing Clem that he's not afraid of making some extra roaches. Double Eva Chamber going down, and an Infestation Pit as well for Serral. He has a 4th base that is a little bit out of position or hard to get to for Clem. You'd expect it to be over here, right? But Serral's like, nah. I'll take it slightly further away, that's fine. More barracks being added on here for Clem. Starting up the 1-1. We see no stim, no combat shields as of yet. We do have the tech lab to start up at least one of them. But there's just nothing. It's just naked Marines here. So these roaches and queens should be able to deal with this. Couple Overlords are in peril if the Marines want to do something about it. 1-1 for Serral underway as well, and a hive already. Is this going to be fast Ultralisks again? Or is he going to go into the Lurkers? We did see Serral go for roaches into Ultralisks most of the time. Not really going for the Cave Bob, not going for those Lurkers. This Sonaga Tower is kind of funny. Ooh. We finally do see Ling speed underway. Serral noticing that, I'm making Lings, but they don't have speed. Do we have a Baneling Nest? We do have a Baneling Nest, just in case. A Roach Ravager, Ling Bane. But we do still have the Hive, so probably going to be looking at some quick Vipers. And those are going to be the answer to deal with the Medevac, and we've talked about it a lot. That Starport build time is premium for Terrans. Especially if you started off making Banshees. You saw how late these Medevacs were, how delayed stim a Combat Shield is. If these first couple Medevacs just die super fast, that forces Clem to make more. It's even premium on the resources for him right now. Roach speed is done, so these roaches can really start following these Medevacs around. 2 Vipers are in production to try and deal with the Medevacs. How many queens do we have? 7 queens on the map. Decent amount. So it's probably not going to be abducts unless all the queens happen to be together. Just going to be parasitic bombs. So look at these roaches. If they're even in upgrades, And if the Terran isn't super high in supply yet, those roaches can trade with smaller amounts of bio. If it's like a big bio ball stimmed with better upgrades or equal, oh, pure roach doesn't fare that well, but that's why we have the Ravagers, why we have the Banelings, and even the Lings a little bit. Because pure roaches doesn't cut it, but roaches are quite beefy, so if the Marines spend their time killing the roaches, that's pretty good. They're even a bait. Just to bait the Terran into making some Marauders. Clem applying double-pronged pressure here onto Serral, who is getting his 5th base. And these Lings are defending it for now. A Queen goes down. Serral hasn't really been able to get across the map. But now, Parasitic Bomb goes down on an empty medevac. Feels bad, man, but now it goes down on a full one. It's not going to kill it just quite. At some point, these Terrans are going to start sending back their medevacs, kind of like Zergs. Take their Vipers out of a control group, send them to suck, and then get them back later. Clem pushes in with his main force at the 5th base, still has a drop at the 4th. Nice corrosive biles go down on the army here, softening it up a little bit. We have some Banelings, but they crash into Marauders. No time to move command the Banes, and Clem is on top of Serral's base. He's on top of the creep. Lots of siege tanks here, 4 of them thanks. And, ooh, nice blinding cloud, but is this enough? That's a lot of bio there. Corrosive biles still hitting marks, but not getting an A grade there on the other side of the map. This drop has been pushed back for now. The Marines there still alive. The 5th base is getting clicked down. No, it's not. Clem starts focus firing the units. A-moving his Marines. 2 tanks remaining. Corrosive biles do take it down. Only 1 siege tank remaining. The Lings of the Banes try to get rid of the last few Marines. So annoying with the medevacs. This hatchery, though, 80 health, still alive. The drop in the bottom is still getting held off. And Cloaked Banshee comes to join the fun. A Spore Crawler is being made to stop that. There is no Overseer here. This Banshee can just click down the hatchery and end Serral's hopes and dreams of having a 5th base for a little bit. Ooh, more bios coming in. Widow Mines. Ooh, one gets clicked down. We have some Banelings to deal with the bio here. Is Serral going to jump on top? He has some Transfuses as well. The Lings, the Banes go in, try to get some Widow Mine hits to go off of only a few units, but it doesn't happen. And Serral using nice hold position commands to keep his units from rushing into Widow Mines. Because Clem, the moment you rush in, he's going to run away with his stimmed units and blow up all of your units with his Widow Mines. Oh, Parasitic Bomb goes down on a lot of... Ooh, nice split there. It's kind of like Jaedong splits with the Miras and the Irradiate. But I guess Zerg got Irradiate now. They'll learn something from the Brood War. And Hive is in peril now. Would be surprising if Clem clicks it down. But Serral has to get all of his units there. Another drop at the 5th. Still trying to do some harassment there, but there's no medevac left over. So the units of Serral might be able to do something there. Ooh, these drones are in peril. Banelings try to get connections, but they don't get any. Do we have any parasitic bombs? Not yet. More units coming into the 5th base, and Serral doesn't have any units here anymore to defend. Units in the main still causing havoc, but Serral is able to mine still. Clem has a very high army supply, though, and the 5th base, or the 4th, is forfeit. The 5th still alive, but at what cost? So much work for Serral here to do. How does he get a 5th base back, and how does he secure one? We saw him trying to make one over there. It's just a desperation attempt, really. All of the drones coming from the 4th to the 5th, trying to find a home. But they can't find any, and Double Liberator about to wreak havoc at the 3rd base as well. Now, the Parasitic Bombs have been putting in work, putting in the hours. But now the Liberators... making sure that these freedom zones get on top of the bases of Serral. These Lings, do they have Adrenal? They do have Adrenal. Hold off that one drop. And the Queens putting in work as well. And now Serral going for it all, trying to keep Clem away from his 4th base. Because without this base, there is no hope. There is no holding on. And Ghost added on into the mix. Now, we do have some Hydras to deal with the Liberators to add on some DPS into the army, but Clem with his micro just keeping Serral from getting a good engagement, and now with the Ghost, one good EMP, one good snipe, and the Vipers and the expensive units will go down. Serral gets on top of the army, gets rid of a lot of the Widow Mines, but at what cost? A lot of his units go down. Still has a decent worker count, but doesn't have a 5th base. Is trying to establish it though. His army count still looking workable, but Clem, dude, he is trucking. 5th base is online, and his war machine is not going to stop churning out. The Totalen Krieg for Clem is working out real well, and I'm not sure if Serral can keep taking these trades off of creep. No 3-3 for Clem even. That is the only reprieve that Serral is going to get in this game, and Serral calls it G to the G. Sees how difficult it is going to be. His army supply being doubled by Clem, and Clem taking the 2-0 lead in this best of 5 once again. History is repeating itself. What a rough game for Serral. He started off so well as well. Remember those roaches walking into the natural, doing all of that damage. Serral had such a worker lead, but defending double drops with the roaches, going into a fast hive though to try and deal with those medevacs, but never did he get an opportunity to move across the map and force Clem to do something about it. I don't know. I think for game number 3, I would love to see Serral go for like pure Lingbane into fast Vipers, maybe even Ultras, and just start sending like 40 Lings, 2-2 Adrenal Gland run-bys. Maybe get some Infestors in there later on, but I want to see some counter-aggression. I want to see 20, 30, 40 Lings trying to disturb the supply lines of the Terran, show some Roaches again, and then don't do anything with the Roaches anymore. Just force Clem to go into the tanks, go into pure Lingbane, and try and get a cheeky one over on him. Maybe even go for a Muta build if you want to make me an even bigger fan. Let's see what happens in game number 3. And for game number 3, we load up into Ley Lines. Clem 2-0 up on Serral, showing that he can fight back from quite a big deficit. Did get some nice counter damage with those Cloak Banshees after taking a lot of damage from an unscouted 9 Roach run by. That is quite amazing, honestly. That can be game-ending damage right then and there, especially versus Serral. But Clem clawing his way back, not allowing Serral to have any map control and to get off his side of the map. Clem just taking care of the creep spread, putting a lot of pressure on the 5th, the main, and the 4th that were very far away from each other on Ultralove. And so Serral, for game number 3, we need to see something here. Going for Hatch first again, with the Extractor trick this time around, going for the 15 Overlord. Super modern Zerg play. And Clem looking to go into that Reaper Command Center expand. Honestly, I want to see Serral put up a fight. I want to see him take a game. But Clem, dude, ever since joining the dark side, he's showing us his real power. And it's fearsome, alright. Now, before the action kicks off, you know what to do. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel and like the video if you feel so inclined. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be going into the groups after this match, the last game of the playoffs for Homestory Cup 26. And then we start Group D, into C, into B, into A. If there's any matches you want to see from those groups, do let me know in the comments. And I'll be sure to give them a good look. And of course, Happy New Year. Thank you for enjoying the games here. Oh, Serral giving him the tricksy. Clem, you can't be getting tricked like this, boy. You can't be getting tricked. But Serral pulling the wool over his eyes. The Marine is on the map again, and the Reaper, the dance has started. I love this part the most, actually, from the 15 Overlord build, with the earlier hatchery and an earlier pool. You just get your queen so early that you don't have to make the lings. It's easier to execute if your queen positioning is good. So probably on every map where one queen is basically enough to keep the Reaper from really infiltrating your base. 15 Overlord is super good. It's also just slightly more economic. Watch Lambo's video on the 15 Overlord. I think it's like... the title of the video is like, I was wrong? Something like that. It's a little clickbaity, but basically he's insinuating or alluding to the fact that all of the Zergs were doing something wrong for the last... Whoa, how long do we have Legacy of the Void? Like 8 years? It's like 2015, 2016? 2016, I feel like. Yeah, it's like 8 years plus almost. This Reaper, keeping an eye out, does see the Roach Warren, and I like the Roach Warren. Making sure that Clem has siege tanks on the brain. They've been working out for him as well, so why not go into those siege tanky boys again? Banshee coming up again. Clem going for a similar build to game number 2. And Serral, now showing the Roach Warren instead of hiding it, is going to make a couple roaches. But 3 roaches is fine. Like, those can be very strong defensively. We don't have speed. The Reaper, checking it out, doesn't see the spawning pool wiggle, but it would be done already, speed. In most builds. And we see slow lings. So, 5 roaches on the map. Oh, the Hellions actually trying to get into the base, but the roaches just spawning in time. We do see a Spore Crawler being made. That was against the Reaper, not against the Banshees that are still coming in. 8 drones going down. Serral, ooh. Ooh, he's getting the reverse treatment. Clem is like, I'm not going to respect you in this game. I'm just going to run these Hellions in. Completely madman style. Just a psychotic run by. Does get 8 drones for his troubles. And this Overlord trying to get some scouting, but gets caught by the 2 Marines. And 1 Banshee's already on the map. Cloak about to finish. More Hellions making their way in. This Queen is ready to defend her babies. But one of them does go down before she can come into range. The other Hellion does get taken down. But how many drones? 9 drones? 4. 6 Hellions and a Reaper. And of course, 1 Zergling. And an Overlord. Oh, these roaches trying to do something cheeky. They run across the map here. Keeping them at your side of the map when the Hellions are already dead? She's not going to do that much. Serral might actually find some damage here at the 3rd base. That is quite nice. Clem just adding on more barracks. Just starting Marine production. Oh, these roaches on A-move reveal themselves right away. And Clem? How are you going to defend this, buddy? These roaches are quite chonky. And this supply depot gets a new leash on life. Gets healed up. No SCVs pulled off the line to heal that one. And Clem clicks or gets his supply depot killed by Serral just clicking on it. And 3 Marines for his troubles as well. And that's about it. These roaches, though, pull back these Banshees. They do have 8 kills now. More roaches underway. And an infestation pit as well. 1-1 upgrades coming out. Serral is gonna go for a similar build once again. But now, from a slight economic deficit, did get Clem to go back. But no SCVs have been killed. So this looks to be pretty rough once again. Oh, the Cloak Banshees are gonna come in. They're gonna take down more drones. That's 4 drones. Oh my god, Serral, how do you plan on playing this game? The siege tanks are in production once again. And we do have an Overseer now. 1 Banshee gets clicked down. Roach speed is done, and a Hive starts up. Baneling Nest as well. Serral, Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager, Viper. That's what this is looking like. Might be an Ultralisk rush, but that would be kind of a timing attack, right? You just get like 1 round of like 6 to 8 Ultras and you just go. You need to get a base or something. Clem moving out once again. We have Stim and 1-1 about to finish. And the siege tank sieges up down this ridge. And Serral, lucky that it doesn't have a base there, huh? These middle 4 bases, every time we talk about ley lines, they are hard to take. Serral's like, oh, challenge accepted. 3 Ravagers coming out. Of course, 3 Ravager Biles will deal with the Siege Tank. Now the Banshee comes back and tries to deal more damage here. How many drones have died? 16 drones have died. Clem runs in once again, kills a Queen, and sees a lot of roaches here. Flies into a Spore Crawler. He don't care. But oh my god, that medevac actually taking a lot of damage. We have 5 Queens on the map right now. One more making Vipers now coming out. Lots of Banelings being created. We have... Oh, this Carapace feels a little late now, doesn't it? We actually have melee before Carapace. Unexpected, but both medevacs really low on HP. Big attack coming in. This Ling does see it a little bit, but did Serral see it? I mean, it has fading vision as well, so he probably sees the extra medevacs, and that indicates more units coming over. 3 siege tanks, bunch of marines with combat shields and stim this time around. How is Serral going to deal with that? The Vipers are on the map, but do they have the energy? The Lings come from behind. Tanks try to siege up. Serral is going to try and take down a couple of those reinforcements, buying himself some time, upping his army supply, but Clem forcing his way into Serral's 4th base here, and has a pretty deep siege line. 4 siege tanks. We have Vipers, but are they ready to put down Blinding Clouds and or Abducts? Maybe even going for the Parasitic Bombs on the medevacs? I don't know. How afraid is Serral of this being a position where he has to die on the hill? You know? He has to fight. He's not giving up the base for free, that's for sure. Losing a lot of Ling Bane to the siege tanks and then backing off. Serral moves in. The Vipers are here, not using their spells just yet. Serral just waiting it out. Sending in more Ling's Banes, going for an engagement. Blinding Clouds on the siege tanks, keeping them from fighting. And as soon as the Lings and Banes are dead, Serral retreating back on to creep. More Banelings being built here. And Clem, it's time to mobilize. Sieges forward with all of his tanks unsieged, noticing that Serral does not have his reinforcements ready. Now the Banelings are here, rolling on into the Marine force. They even take down a tank or 2. And with all the tanks dying, that is the anchor of Clem dead. Some Lings and Banes are going to be collateral damage. Serral holding on his 80 drone economies. Army's looking decently strong. An extra Viper being added on here, as one of them did get clicked down apparently. And Clem just keeping up the siege push. 4th base has been established, and he's just attacking alongside his expansions. Looking like innovation. But without the Widow Mines, basically. Oh, all of the medevacs pick up the tanks. Clem did not want to be there anymore. And immediately the creep is being spread by Serral. Too bad that Serral didn't find the opportunity to spread it on the left here. And now this 5th base barely got it mining, and it's already getting shut down. We do get a different base taken for Serral. That is quite important. Clem pushes up this ramp, and only the 2 Vipers. I don't know. Personally, I would be feel very greedy to just go into like 4 Vipers, just to make sure that I can throw down more Parasitic Bombs and just really shut down the medevac count. But they're quite expensive, and you know, if you don't have a ground army, those Vipers are not that good. These tanks not getting leapfrogged too far forward. Clem doesn't want a full-on engagement, just wants to shave off as many units as he can. The Lings trying to do a small little run-by here. That's a good sign for me. Serral feels like he has enough money and income to commit some units to run-bys. That is stable enough on this map. Still holding this 5th hatchery. Oh my god, these Ravagers get taken down by some siege tank volleys. Even have +1 attack for the siege tanks as well. Make sure they do some extra damage. Planetary Fortress on the 5th base here for Clem. He's going to get that Rich Geyser, and here we go. A big Ling run-by. That's what I love, baby. It's time for Gamba. And the Lings running in. They find a supply depot that is not raised. And now the 2nd base of Clem is getting razed to the ground by these Zerglings, doing a lot of damage. 2-2 upgrades. Look at the damage. This one Ghost is trying to hold it down the fort. This starport doesn't finish up and now gets clicked down with some of the Lings. This orbital even in peril. Look at this. And at the front, Serral moving in blinding clouds into a lot of siege tanks. And the Ling Ravager Baneling takes down all of the siege tanks. Let's effing go, Serral. Only 2 siege tanks remaining. These Lings still being annoying. And trying to thin out the siege tank out. Oh, and the burrow. So annoying. If you don't see it, you might not scan it. Oh my god. What a nice run by there from Serral. I look so smart. Notice, or mentioning it in the previous game. It just happened to work out this game. Thank god. Serral claws back into this game. Look at how much pressure he has relieved off himself. Makes another base. Has this base saturated. Is remaking this base as well. And even a little bit of creep spread can start up here. But you look at how hard Serral is being taxed here by Clem. Almost 500 APM and still can't quite find the time to do optimal creep spread. It's just not the most important thing Serral can be doing. He needs to stay alive. Neural Parasite is coming out for the Infestors. Dude, if Serral gets a Burrow Infestor to neural a ghost and then EMP all of the ghosts that are clumped, that would be super juicy. You can even neural like Liberators just to unsiege them. And just fly them into your anti-air. Oh, that's a lot of burrowed units. Holy moly. If this does something, that is crazy. Oh, and burrows. 2 Banelings remaining. Maybe wanted to do Baneling landmines, but shift queued all of the units instead of just the 2 Banelings. Dude, I love that Serral's going for those Baneling landmines. They can get so much value. Serral taking all of the bases now. Finally feels like he has a cause on the map. That he can actually stake a claim. And Serral, boom, goes into a potential 6th base here for Clem. Forces it to lift. Has an Infestor here. It gets sniped. Doesn't quite get the fungal. And a new Infestor is being made. 2 of them are on the map. 1 of them over there. We're going to see Serral again sharking around with these Infestors. 15 minutes in, and this game is going to go crazy. Sensor towers going down for Clem as well. And he's making turrets, making sure that these Infestors can't get cheeky backstabs onto Clem. He doesn't want an Infestor to just chill behind his army, or worse, on top of his army. This base of Serral, I mean, if he can mine it out a little bit, that's already nice. Put some spines maybe. And let's see if we see some lurkers. We do see the Hydra upgrades coming in. But no lurker then as of yet. Lots of Ravager Biles going down. This Infestor is looking for a juicy hit. The hatchery does complete, but probably gonna get clicked down here by Clem, no? Oh, look at all of these Lings and the Banelings. Even some Vipers here. They yoink in all of the tanks, and because of that, the Lings managed to take them down, but Clem keeping a lot of units at home. That means not all of his units are in the front, and Serral dividing and conquering in this game on Ley Lines. I'm honestly quite impressed that he weathered the storm here, and now, even though Clem is getting into an ultimate composition with ghosts and liberators with range, building armors coming up, more siege more command centers, there's no way. Oh, that was in range? Really? There's no way he hasn't played like 10,000 types of these games versus Spirit, because Spirit is way more willing to go into these types of games. And since Serral practices with Spirit, even with Oliveira, also quite comfortable going into these types of games, because that is what Serral forces out of you, because that's where he is comfortable. Oh, the Ravagers take down the siege tanks. Very nice. Clem hasn't really been re-establishing the siege tank count as much. Do get a small fungal. Second fungal doesn't quite hit the mark. But we do have some Lings and Banes trying to get on top of those ghosts. And ghosts absolutely hate Ling, Baneling, because they just can't really do anything. Sure, they do hit the Lings and Banes for decent damage, because their gun is pretty good, you know. Sniper rifle does pretty good damage. Oh, this Infestor doesn't quite have the energy to go for a fungal here, but soon he will have the energy. Does have the energy now. Does not get scanned. Oh, he comes out, gets the fungal, and it's a full surround here for Serral. Oh my god, breaking this position so wonderfully. One Infestor and a Dream Baby. Clem. That's even mental damage right there. And Clem can't take this base. Immediate burrow. We get the wave dash upgrade for the Hydralisks as well. We don't have any Hydras yet. +2 range coming out. And Serral doesn't even have an Ultralisk den, does he? So like, no, Ultralisks are not good if ghosts exist in this game. 3 supply ghosts. Still pretty good. But look at this burrowling. We had a burrowling over there. Serral moves in again. Another wave of Zerg. The swarm is here to make sure that you can't take this base. And Serral also just wants to mine out that base as much as he can. No Infestor this time around, so what can he do? Vipers get EMP'd right away. Corrosive Bowels go down on the Liberators. Probably has Flyer Helper on as well. Because otherwise it's very hard to Corrosive Bowel down air units. This PF gets taken down by Serral. Yes! And that is Serral actually doing some nice counter damage onto Clem for once. Dude, Serral. He's got his heels in the sand, baby. He's pushing back. But Clem, the War Machine is still churning. He's taking this base, making a PF. It has high sec auto tracking. It has building armor. Oh, it doesn't have high sec auto tracking. Okay. Get it, Clem. Get that range on that PF. It's so funny to see him just basically play pure ghost here. Oh, another nice fungal! And all of the cracklings get on top of Clem. Clem's army is just dying out here. And this orbital does not shoot like the big planetary gun. We have Hydralisks in the mix now as well. And those will help deal with the Liberators and the Medivacs as well. We even have a Viking there. Wave dashes forward, and Serral's going for a very hefty forward smash here. Smashing into the base of Clem here. Look at the Hydras clicking down of the Liberators. And those Lings with low amounts of Widowmines, tanks, and Marines. Suddenly, those Lings stay alive a little longer than you're used to, and they do a lot of damage. The new Infestor comes in. Oh my god, you just need a Raven or like turrets like in weird positions just to deal with this madness. But Serral smells blood in the water. The Infestor sharks are working out, and Serral hasn't found a way to expand to the top side of the map. He wants to expand through the bottom. He wants to expand where he's pushing. But Serral has been winning these engagements time and time again. And for the first time in this series, Serral is showing us that he can hang. This is a game he wants to play. Oh my god, look at this Hydras. Wave dash forward, try to get the hit onto that siege tank, but they didn't quite get the right hitbox there. They get the full combo on the medevac. Don't get the kill, but the Hydras click down the planetary, and Clem, hemorrhaging bases all of the sudden, isn't able to reestablish new ones and is losing a lot of them. Another Infestor going down. How many do we have? 2 more on the map. I don't know where they are, but we have one over here. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, it's over there. So they're both at the bottom side. Clem has been playing here all game long. And Serral, and Burrows gets insta-EMP'd. Big surround on the ghost, and Serral takes down Clem in this third game of the best of 5 with amazing fungals once again. He did it in their first series on Abyssal Reef, and now he does it again on Ley Lines. Serral, there is life in him yet. He can win Zerg versus Terran, even against the Cleminator. Darth Clem pleads. And Serral showing us in game number 3 that he will not let the dark side win. Master Serral wants to have something to say about that. And so now we are 2-1 in this best of 5. In our losers finals, the winner goes back to the grand finals, where he can try and take down Gumiho, the Guma God. You have to start 1-0 down, but you know, that's what it is. Gumio needs to get some type of reward for not losing a series in this tournament. Yet. Clem, what are you gonna do? Because you looked really strong in those first 2 games. And then the third game, it started off really well again. Well, the second game actually looked amazing for Clem, taking that much damage from the Roach run-by and still winning. Forcing the right things out of Serral. But now, maybe he's a little shaken. Not going Protoss just yet, but... his lightsaber is still blue. Of course, they did swap colors again. I'm not sure what that indicates, but... luckily, they don't play the same race, so it's not that confusing. Clem is going for the Reaper into the Marine. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the Hellion Banshee again. But I wouldn't mind him going for like a Liberator or a Battlecruiser. Just to kind of like switch it up a little bit. The drone and the SCV start the dance. Another drone goes to the bottom side here. The Reaper doesn't find it. And so we're probably going to see a base down there. Now, we did see this map before, I think, between Clem and Serral, and it was the roughest one they played. As in, Serral got owned in that one. I think that was also game number 4. So, no foreshadowing, but damn. Serral's not getting an easy road, now does he? I mean, winning a tournament shouldn't be an easy road for anybody, honestly. Maybe for Flash. Maybe for Serral in the past. But we have a challenger, alright. And, ooh. Clem is going to switch it up. He's going for a second barracks. He's going for the stim. He's going for the 2-1-1. And not going to go for the Banshees this time around. We do see speed for Serral, so he's not going Roaches into that. I'm not sure if Roaches is good or bad into the 2-1-1. You don't really like running around following Medivacs with your Roaches, but it is easier to hold off like the first push with the 16 Marines, with the stim, with the Medivacs, because those Roaches are just more sturdy, and they can target down the Marines quite effectively, whereas Lings and Queens, you really need a good amount of units to do that effectively, and one misstep, and you lose too many units, it snowballs. This does mean, though, that Clem is allowing Serral a little bit of creep threat here. Do we have any Hellions? We have 2 Hellions right now. And the factory switches off right away. He did... oh my god, look at that. Serral saw the tech lab on the barracks. He doesn't know that it's 2 of them, but he does know that it's upgrading, right? Yeah, he saw it upgrading. Okay, so he does know that this is a possibility now. Like, it could be a fake. You could start, like, concussive shells and wait... because it's still waiting for the starport to switch off and the Overlord to die, obviously. But I don't know if Serral would be tricked by that. He is getting a Baneling Nest now and a Lair. Is he gonna pull out... well, Serral always pulls out. But is he gonna pull out the Baneling Ling mass style? Mass Ling Baneling. Words. Double engineering bay for Serral's opponent, Clem, going down. And Serral does not have any Evo chambers just yet. But also hasn't quite started his gases. Does have the drones almost to start doing that. Almost all of his bases are fully saturated. He's getting a 4th base as well. And wow, even getting his opportunity at a gold base here. Gold base always very juicy. And these Lings run in. They find the Medivacs right away. Good job, Zergling. Oh my god. Gets incinerated right away, but that is a very nice find for Serral. He knows what's coming. He's getting Baneling speed. He only has 6 Lings, though. Did he see it? I think he saw it. Now he knows for sure. More Lings are coming up. I mean, this is a little rough. This base is just going to go down. Serral, you knew this was coming, but not quite in position with the Queens. Oh, that base does have to get cancelled. The queens are in position, and they try to click down the marine. They do get some damage onto that medevac, and the links are already in the main. You need to have enough links, because otherwise they just start dropping and killing. Oh my god, this... Oh, fourth base restarted for Serral. Oh, Clem, making sure that this bottom base can't get taken. And he's not quite thinking about the gold base. No, Serral is thinking about that bottom base. Doesn't want to get abused by a Terran that has access to the other side of the gold base. And Clem about to scan here, taking down a lot of creep tumors. But there is queens, there is Zerglings. And, ooh, the creep actually stays alive. We have a lot of queens this time around. And Serral sends all of his links down, wants to get this fifth base up. And he does need to get those hatcheries up quick. He needs the money and he needs the larva. The banelings are ready to defend the hatchery. Clem tries to bait them in, baits in the one. And now the drop is going to go into the main. Clem is getting all of the map control. And just gets to do what he wants at home. What he wants. That's a lot of queens though. And we know Serral has invested a lot of cash into these queens. More creep tumors on the map, and the creep spread is looking quite okay. Overseer Cocoon going to do some scouting. Clem moves across the map here with the Ling tank. Whoa. If Clem didn't quite have vision of that, Serral would have had a brilliant surround. No upgrades for Serral just yet, though. 1-1 is done for Clem. And he's clicking down this fourth base real good. One queen also going down. Serral does have a path in here. And one medevac does get clicked down. The transfuses are going to go down, and Serral needs to buy more time for his upgrades. Doesn't get the time, and he has to commit to try and defend his fourth. He gets clicked down by Clem, and Clem gets his achievement, mission complete. But RiquizCasts is going to lose that tank, is going to lose quite a few marines, but nicely tucked in between those minerals, and now 1-1 finishes. What an anti-timing for Serral. What a timing for Clem. Then at the bottom, the next rally push is coming in. Wave after wave is just going to crush down into Serral's home, and Serral now relinquished back onto 4 bases. Can't keep this 5th base alive for the life of him, and this is not looking good. Serral is falling apart, and Clem is going to keep pushing this bruise. He's going to try and kick Serral out of this game, take his rightful place in the grand finals, and reclaim what is his in the grand finals versus Gumi, but not if Serral has something to say about it. Hydras are coming out, Lings are coming out, but these Marines in the middle are trading out fairly well. Queens are dying, Hydras are dying, and oh no. These Marines, Serral has to give up, does not have the army nor the economy to keep up the fight, and Clem just cracks Serral open at the top there. What a timing! Nice positioning on the tanks, on the Marines, gets the upgrades and forces Serral to fight him before he's ready by clicking down the hatchery. And Serral, you gotta take that fight. These Marines are not hitting your units. You can get a full wraparound before those units even start firing at your Lings or your Queens. But the 1-1 just didn't finish for Serral. It was done for Clem, and the micro of Clem making that very rough. And Serral out of 3rd place of the Homestory Cup 26. I mean, he's won enough, right? Give Clem a shot at the Guma God. Now, that series is already up on my channel. If you want to relive the grand finals of the Homestory Cup 26, you can look it up. And otherwise, have a great Christmas once again. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, feel free to share this channel around with some friends. And I hope to see you in the next one, where we start the group stages of the Homestory Cup 26 and look what actually transpired before the playoffs even started. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed some StarCraft 2 action, and I hope to see you in the future. Cheers.